Good morning, students. So, as we were discussing about water, okay. So, in our previous class, we discussed about water, why water is important for us. Then we discussed about its source. That means where do we get water from? Okay, that means mainly from rainwater. Then we have what we can say. We get water from rivers, oceans, lakes. Okay. Then we talked about importance first of all. Then we talked about sources of water. Okay, importance means why it is important, why it is necessary. Then sources of water. Sources of water means where do we get water from? Okay, through rainfall and through various other water bodies like oceans, seas, lakes, rivers. Then we talked about forms of water. That means water exists in which form? Okay, it exists in solid form, in the form of snow and ice. Similarly in liquid. Okay, in normal temperature we can see it in a liquid form. Then we can see it in a gaseous form also, in the form of water vapor. Okay, in the atmosphere. So today we will be talking about circulation of water. Circulation of water. Okay, so what do you mean by circulation of water in nature? So today we are going to discuss about circulation of water. Circulation of water actually means what you can say, the water cycle. Okay, as for example, water is a renewable sources. Okay, first of all let's talk about what do you mean by renewable and non-renewable sources. So renewable sources means the source that can be used again and again. Okay, so let's talk about circulation of water. In nature or natural circulation of water. Okay, natural means through various what you can say atmospheric factors. Okay, as for example through rainfall, through evaporation, through other factors. So before talking about circulation of water, that means circulation of water we can simply say water cycle. Okay, we can simply say water cycle. And water cycle, as few of you may know, few of you don't know, that water cycle is the circulation of water from various places. Okay, that means from one place to another. So before this, let's talk about what do you mean by renewal. So it is said that water is a renewable source. Renewable source means it can be used again and again. It can be used again and again. Okay, as for example solar energy. In this renewable source we can say solar energy, wind energy. Then water is also there. Okay, that means we can use again and again. It can't be finished. Okay, but don't think that if I told that it can't be finished, that means we have water in abundance. No. Okay, yes, we have water in abundance, but the availability of water, that means the water that we can use, okay, that we can use is very little, and if we don't use it carefully or in a correct manner, then there will be a water scarcity. Okay, so the thing is that it can be used but it can't be consumed. That means we can say that water is a renewable energy and it can be used again and again. Okay, it will not finish. Water will not finish. As for example, what I mean to say is that it's not that water will, as we are consuming water or as we are using water, it will finish one day. No, it will not finish one day, because it is renewable source. Okay, so similarly we have an opposite word, non-renewable source. Non-renewable sources. So non-renewable source means once used can't be replaced. As for example, petroleum. Okay, petroleum, once we use, it can't come back. Okay, it will, what you can say, it will be finished. Yes, the formation process is, what you can say, it is a very lengthy process. So in a simple term, you just remember about renewable source and non-renewable source. Okay, so water is considered as a renewable source. Okay, and it is a very important source. So before we decide the water cycle nature, we will study about how water leaves earth and again return back to it. That means how it leaves the earth's surface. Okay, so number one point, we will talk about how it leaves, how water leaves earth or earth's surface. Okay, second one, how it or how water enters the earth. How water enters the earth's surface. Okay, that means don't think that it will leave in the space, then again it will come back. No, it has a certain limitations. Okay, it has certain limitations. That means just think about the balloons. Okay, gubbara. Okay, so what will happen if you fill hydrogen or helium oxide there or helium gas there? Whenever you go to the fair, that means mela. Okay, you buy a balloon. Okay, and if you leave it, what will happen? It goes up to certain height. It goes up to certain height. Then after that, either it will be disappeared or either it loses its, what you can say, the flying ability. Okay. Same thing happens with water also. It's not that water that is evaporated goes in the sky and it will go very high. It has some limitations. It has some what you can say, some barriers there. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about how water leaves the earth. That means the number one process. Okay, so let's talk about how it leaves the earth's surface. So water leaves the earth's surface by various means. Okay, suppose say for example, if you wash a cloth, okay, then what you will do? What you will do with that clothes? You will just put it in the, or you will hang that cloth somewhere. It can be inside or it can be outside the verandas, okay, or in the sun. So what will happen? Within certain time, okay, it will dry up. That means the water will disappear. Okay, it's not a magic, but the water will disappear. We see this phenomena every day, okay, whenever we see things. Another, just pour water in the ground, what will happen? Okay, again after certain time it will, the water will not be there. Okay, the reason behind that is the evaporation. That means the water in that certain object leaves the earth by some process. Okay, we will talk about that process one by one. Okay, so first of all, how there are many processes. As for example, number one is by evaporation. Number one process, evaporation. Okay, what do you mean by evaporation? Evaporation of water, as I give you the example of the wet clothes, okay, or what you can say, or the wetland. Okay, after certain time it will dry up. Okay, if the amount of water is very much in large, is in large volume, it will absorb by the soil also. Okay, we can't consider absorption of soil as evaporation, but evaporation we can just observe. We can't see the process of evaporation, but we can observe it, okay, or we can conclude it after certain time. Okay, as for example, drying of clothes, drying of wet clothes. Understood? Number one. Number two, we have just say that put a water in a plate or in a bucket, okay, and leave it in the sun, leave it outside. What will happen? The amount of water will decrease, or the water level will decrease. Water level, that means the amount of water level will decrease. Understood? So evaporation is the simple process, okay, where water is evaporated in the atmosphere. Okay, as due to heating process it becomes light. Okay, mostly we can say by heating. Okay, evaporation mostly by heating, and heating, or we can say, or drying. Okay, so simply by heating. Okay, when there is a sun, when sunlight is there, by evaporation is done mostly by heating, and we can't see this process. Can you see water evaporating? Okay, it evaporates every day, but we can't see. Only we can conclude it after certain time, or we can observe it. Okay, so the first one was by water leaves the earth by evaporation. Now we will move towards another process, that is through respiration. Through respiration by animals, you can see. So in this process, in the process of respiration, oxygen enters our body, then after reacting or after giving us energy or after burning the food products, what happens? We release some byproduct. We release some byproducts. Byproducts means the things that we don't use. The things that we don't use. As for example, I'll give you a simple example of rice. Okay, I'll give you a simple example of rice. Nowadays rice is mostly cooked in a rice cooker. Okay, so it will evaporate the thing. So as for example, it will evaporate what I can say, the water there. But previously, when it was mostly cooked, not cooked in rice cooker, it was cooked in a vessel, or what you can say, the dekchis. Okay, so what happens, we used to remove the excess water. हम लोग क्या करते थे, excess water निकाल देते थे. So we used to remove that excess water. So in the preparation of rice, okay, what happens, the excess water act as a byproduct. Okay, that we call it the starch also, or mar. Okay, whatever it is said. So in the process of respiration, it is the carbon dioxide and water which act as a byproduct. That means it is released from our body. Okay, it is released in small quantity, but if you compare it, or if you what you can say, if you group it, that it will be in a huge amount. So this water will be leaving the earth. That means it will be released in the atmosphere. Okay, so carbon dioxide and water are given out of the body. The carbon dioxide gas and water vapor escapes into the atmosphere. Okay, that means in a simple sense we can say that during respiration, animals take in oxygen, and with this help of oxygen, food is digested or food is burned to give us energy, and in that process a byproduct is formed. That means things that we don't use are released from our body in the form of carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so here water is released in the atmosphere. Okay, so second was respiration. The first one was evaporation, second respiration. Okay. Now we will talk about the third one, the third process by which water is released from the earth, or that means we can say it leaves the earth or in the atmosphere. Third one is transpiration. Third one is transpiration, and transpiration is mostly done by plants. That means this process can be seen mostly in plants. Okay, so first of all we will talk about this, then again we will differentiate we will compare the three. Okay, so in the process of transpiration, as we all know that some amount of what you can say temperature is there. That means earth's temperature, we can see earth temperature. So due to that temperature, the water from the water body is evaporated, but plants also get transpirated when they are heated. That means transpiration is mostly what you can say done through leaves, Okay, that means the release of water through the leaves is called transpiration. Okay, so the part of the water absorbed by plant is released by plants through the leaves in the air by the process called transpiration, and this transpiration can be seen according to four factors: temperature, humidity, wind and time. Okay, that means these are the factors which affect transpiration. So number one was temperature. Number two, humidity. Then number three was wind speed, and number four, time. Time means time of the day, that means duration of day. Okay, so we will discuss about this all thing. Okay, factors by which water is released in the atmosphere. So transpiration is mostly done through the leaves by plants. Okay, and the factors which affect temperature transpiration is number one, temperature. As for example, if there is more temperature, that means the rate of transpiration will be more. If there is humidity, the rate of transpiration is more. If the wind of the speed is more, the rate of transpiration will be more. And the time means as for example, during the daytime or during the midday, what you can say, the amount of transpiration is more. Okay, due to these all factors. Okay, so this was all about transpiration. So I want to make you clear about this process, leaves. Okay, that means transpiration is mostly done through leaves. That means what it can be said that if a plant or if a tree have a big leaves, what will happen? The amount of transpiration will be more. Whereas in cactus plant, we can't see leaves. There is no leaves. Okay, leaves has been modified into spines. Why it has been done? Why it has been done, or why this adaptation can be seen in cactus plant? That's because mostly cactus can be seen, or it is a habitat of dry areas. So they need to lose water. That means they don't need transpiration. Okay, so in cactus plant, instead of leaves, the leaves has been modified into spines. Okay, so you can say that in wet areas the leaves are large, and in dry areas either these leaves there is no leaves, or leaves has been modified into some other things. Okay, so this was all about how water is released in the atmosphere. Okay, how water is released in the atmosphere. So now let's have what you can say, comparison between these three things. Comparison between three factors. Number A, evaporation. Number B, respiration. And number C, transpiration. Okay, so in process of evaporation, the water is released from the earth's surface. Earth's surface means you can say oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, etc. Or even human factors like clothes are there, okay, and other thing. First of all, Second, in the process of respiration, the water is released in the atmosphere by mostly animals. Okay, animals during respiration, that means release of gases. And in third process, it is mostly done by plants. Okay, that means through leaves. Okay, so water leaves the earth by three factors: evaporation, respiration and transpiration. Okay, so this was all about how water leaves the atmosphere.